Hi everyone, this is David and welcome to Chat 1, in which we're going to first discuss this thing right here called your definition essay, how to make an easy A. Well, the way to make an easy A is to tell yourself, self, this is no big deal. And why is it a no big deal? Because all you're going to do is write another 5-paragraph essay, just like you did in week 1. Just like you did in week 1, you're going to state your thesis as the last sentence in your introductory paragraph. Then you're going to develop 3 supporting points in the following 3 body paragraphs. And then in a final or 5th paragraph, you're going to wrap up your essay with a conclusion. Now, just like last week also, please do not use sources in this essay. You're going to see in just a moment a list of 20 or so topics. If not one of those tickle your definition fantasy, then feel free to come up with your own. And so I want you to choose a topic that you can write about in 5 paragraphs that draws upon your experience, your knowledge, your opinions, without outside sources. So you're going to follow those same steps in the writing of this essay. First comes the thesis. Then after you have written that thesis following the formula that we designate, you're then going to outline the paper with a 4-sentence outline. And you're going to get my approval on that 4-sentence outline. Now here's a list of possible terms. Again, you may choose one of these or you may come up with one of your own. But they run the gamut from juvenile delinquent to women in combat. So it's basically a topic that you express an opinion on. And again, choose one that you can write about from your own experience. Okay, what I want to do now is to take a topic such as juvenile delinquent, and I'm going to go through the formulas that you used last week applying to a topic from this week. So let's get started. I'm going to go to a whiteboard and we're going to start with our formulas. The first formula is the formula for the thesis. Now the formula for the thesis, as you've already reviewed, is you take your topic and then you add your opinion on the topic. And when you add those two things together, boom, you get a thesis statement. So we can take our sample topic that we're going to be working with during the chat, and we can type in juvenile delinquent, and then comes the opinion. Now remember that in the opinion, I want you to answer this or complete this sentence right here. I believe that juvenile delinquent, and then you have to complete that opinion statement. Juvenile delinquents are bad kids who should be in prison like adults. Juvenile delinquents should not be given a second chance. Juvenile delinquents should be punished as their parents are punished. It doesn't matter what opinion you come up with. You just have to come up with an opinion. Juvenile delinquents are the victims, not the offenders. Doesn't matter what the opinion is. Doesn't matter whether I agree with it or not, because remember, this is English 106, not Opinion 106. I do not care what your opinions are, whether they're right, left, mid-center, top, or bottom. I do not care what your opinions are. I do care that you use the formulas correctly. So here, we're going to combine the topic, juvenile delinquents, and all we do is add the opinion are the victims, not the offenders. And that is how simple it is to get a thesis statement. Then, after you have that key thesis statement, which is kind of like the beginning of the whole thing, because it is your controlling idea, it is your slant, it is your hub of the wheel of your essay, we're going to go to the next formula. And the next formula is the formula for the outline. And the formula for the outline is the thesis plus topic sentences. So we've already got one of them written, the thesis statement. So now all we have to do is come up with topic sentence 1, topic sentence 2, and topic sentence 3. And remember, in these topic sentences, we want to follow a very strict construction pattern that places each of the sentences in parallel sequence. So we could say, the first reason juvenile, can we start calling them JDs? JDs are the victims, is that children are born innocent. The second reason JDs are the victims is that parenting imprints what a child will be. The third reason JDs are the victims is a society that is more focused on punishment rather than rehabilitation. Okay, so now we've done our second formula, which is the formula for your outline. And that formula consists of 3 sentences added to the thesis. Thesis statement, we've already got. Juvenile delinquents are the victims, not the offenders. And then we add the 3 topic sentences to them. The first reason juvenile delinquents are the victims is that children are born innocent. The second reason juvenile delinquents are victims. The third reason juvenile delinquents are victims. Notice that parallel structure. That is called the expository essay structure. And I want you to use the expository essay structure as you do your outline, and then as you make that outline a part of your essay. So those are the first 2 formulas, the formula for the thesis and the formula for the outline. Now let's go to our third formula. And the third formula is formula for the 5-paragraph essay. And the formula for the 5-paragraph essay is represented by these little paragraphs that we draw here. Remember, in an APA essay, the first thing you have is a title page, and that's called front matter. The second thing you have is called an abstract page, and that's also called front matter. And the third thing that you have is the actual body of your essay. And that's what we're drawing right now, is the body of your essay. Now, in a lot of essays, there's a fourth thing that you draw, and that is a page for the references. But remember, I do not want you to have any references in this essay. I want you to write this essay completely from your own experience, your own knowledge. Okay, so now that we've got these things drawn, let's put in the sentences of our outline. As we talked about, what's always going to go last? The thesis statement comes last in this opening paragraph, which is called the intro paragraph, the introduction. That's where the thesis statement goes. Then comes topic sentence is first, in body paragraph. The topic sentence comes first in a body paragraph. And we can repeat that for the next three paragraphs. Topic sentence is first in the body graph. And we will repeat it one more time because these are our three body paragraphs. Then, if we wanted to, we can label these body paragraphs as body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and then body paragraph 3. And then the last paragraph, as you know, and for which we have our own formula, is the conclusion paragraph. So, the intro paragraph is the first type of paragraph in your essay. Then that intro paragraph is followed by three body paragraphs, and then finally the conclusion paragraph. Now comes one of the most important things that you have to do, which is learning how to mesh, learning how to combine the sentence outline with the 5-paragraph essay formula. So let's draw another text box here and put a placeholder in it. And we're going to go back and we're simply going to get this outline that we wrote. And we're going to copy and paste this outline into this text box. After we write formula for outline, boom, there it is. Now all we have to do is remind ourselves where these things go. That thesis statement, juvenile delinquents are the victims, not the offenders, that is the last sentence of the introductory paragraph. This topic sentence, the first reason juvenile delinquents are the victims is that children are born innocent. And that is the first sentence of a body paragraph. And the same with topic sentence number 2. It becomes the first sentence, and all you do is copy and paste these things in there. So it's very important for you to know how to blend the outline with the essay. I'm just drawing some lines in here so that it will look more like a structured paragraph for you. So as long as you can remember where the sentences of your outline go, you more or less are just going to be filling in the blanks. And so that's why I'm really strong on teaching you this expository essay structure. Because once you can write that outline, thesis, 3-body paragraph topic sentences, and then once you can write the formula for the 5-paragraph essay and then blend those things together, you've basically got the shell or the skeleton of your essay. And it becomes a matter of filling in the blanks. Now, when filling in the blanks, you want to use the formulas for each of the different kinds of paragraphs. There are 3 kinds of paragraphs in an essay. An essay contains an introduction paragraph. It contains a number of body paragraphs, 3, 4, 5, 6, depends upon how long the assignment is. And then it contains a conclusion paragraph. So we're going to look first at the formula for the intro paragraph. The formula for the intro paragraph is 2 to 5 sentences about anything that lead up to or set the stage for the thesis. So let's draw ourselves a paragraph. Let's go get that thesis, because really all you have to do is copy and paste these things into our introductory paragraph. And we're simply going to paste in the thesis. We're going to move that thesis down to the bottom of the paragraph. So 2 to 5 sentences about anything. I mean, I can look around here and look at the first thing. Okay, I have a floor fan sitting right over here. So I'm going to construct an entire paragraph on this basis of a floor fan. One of the funniest memories I have of being a child is sitting in front of a floor fan and breathing loudly into it, pretending I was a jet engine. Now, who but an innocent child would make a fan into a jet engine for play? Our children are born this way. Blank slates on which we as parents imprint values such as patience or aggression, understanding or hatred, and so on. That's why, and then comes our thesis. That's why juvenile delinquents are the victims, not the offenders. And it's as simple as that. And I could look around the room and get another object. I promise I did not pick out the fan beforehand. It really does not matter where you start. And the reason that it doesn't matter where you start is because you know where you're going. You are going to that sentence right there, the thesis sentence. So, for your introduction paragraph, I want you to simply think about writing a series of sentences that set the stage or provide a platform for the thesis statement. And that's all you have to do in the introduction paragraph. That's the formula. Now let's go to our next formula. And that formula was the formula for the body paragraph. Formula for the body paragraph. And that formula was you state the topic sentence, you explain the topic sentence, you support the topic sentence, and then you conclude or wrap up the paragraph. State, explain, support, conclude is our formula. So let's draw a body paragraph. So we're going to go get one of our topic sentences. So our first step is to state. We state our topic sentence. I'm going to change this to first since this is the first one we're doing. It usually does not matter what order that they come in. The first reason juvenile delinquents are the victims is that parenting imprints what a child will be. And then we explain. Explain means that you say the same thing in slightly different words. There's a famous saying like father, like son, and the apple doesn't fall very far from the tree. So both of those kind of cliches are ways of saying the same thing that we said in our topic sentence. Parents imprint or make what the child is to be. We explained it in different words. Then comes, and by the way, let's be sure to enumerate how many of these sentences that you actually get. You only get one sentence for the explain portion. You only get one sentence for the state portion. Now, on the support section, this is the central meat body of the body paragraph. And here you want something like 3 to 5 good support sentences since you're writing about a 600-word essay. That should do it. Now, the support section can often begin with the magic words. The magic words for the support section are, for example, or for instance. Let's go with for example. For example, if you are a parent and have gone to a PTA meeting or a parent-teacher conference and had the chance of meeting the parents of your child's friends, you know the truth of why children can be so different. The truth is that the child has been imprinted by those parents. If the parents are overly emotional, the child will likely be. If the parents are bigots, the child will be full of hatred and sour against those unlike him. If the parents don't care about education, it is unlikely that the child will either. Okay, so we've got lots of support sentences there. Now comes the conclude section, and you get one sentence for that. But before you get to that conclude section, go back and look at your support section. And you say, have I given enough examples? Have I given enough support from my own experience and my own knowledge? Well, let's see how many support statements we had here. We had, there's our transition, for example, and then we kind of led into our support with going to a PTA meeting or parent-teacher conference. You know how you have to wait outside till it's your turn, and you get to see the parents and the children together. You get to see the truth. And the truth is the children have been imprinted. And so we talk about being emotional, hyper, bigotry and prejudice, really caring about education and getting ahead, or not caring about education and getting ahead. The clearest sign of that is that the parents don't show up. So now we're ready for the conclusion section. Here you use another one of what Sholitha so correctly called a transition word. So you would say something like in conclusion or therefore, any of those summation transition words. And again, you can Google them, transition words, and you'll find list and list of them. Therefore, it is clear that children are primarily the products of their environment and parenting. So we circle back to the whole idea of parenting. So let's look at what we got here. We have the formula for the body paragraph. First, we stated our topic sentence, and all we did for that was to copy and paste from our outline. That's all we did. We copied and pasted from our outline. Then we explained our topic sentence. That's where you elaborate on it, where you add to it, where you say it in different words. And then comes the most important part. And when you start using sources, this is where you will put your sources. The support section, and then comes the conclude section. And the key here is that whenever you're writing a body paragraph, any sentence that you write must be a state sentence or it doesn't belong. It must be an explain sentence or it doesn't belong. It must be a support sentence or it doesn't belong. It must be a conclude sentence or it doesn't belong. Writing these body paragraphs or writing any paragraph in an essay is not like meteors falling out of the sky and landing as sentences in random order on your page. As we have shown with the introduction paragraph, there's a very clear formula that you use. Each of those sentences of that introduction paragraph must lead up to, step by step, to that thesis statement. It must set the stage for the thesis statement. Here, the formula is state, explain, support, conclude. Each sentence that you write must do one of those four things or you throw it out. Now, the last formula happens to cover the formula for the last paragraph in your essay, and that is the formula for the conclusion paragraph. And the formula for the conclusion paragraph is to restate thesis and then tell its importance. Restate the thesis and tell its importance. So let's draw ourselves another paragraph here. The conclusion paragraph is probably about the same length, maybe a little bit longer than the introduction paragraph. So the first thing we're going to do is to restate. Now, when you restate something, you repeat key words, no doubt about that. You just don't repeat the same sentence. You just don't repeat the idea using the same sentence. So let's remind ourselves what our thesis was so that we can paraphrase it. Our thesis was, juvenile delinquents are the victims, not the offenders. So we're going to restate that now. When a child is hauled into juvenile court, see how I'm repeating the same word? In handcuffs, who is to blame? The child or parents and the society? So I have restated the thesis. I restated it as a question, but that's fine. The child, I could restate it again. The child was born innocent. So how did he end up in jail? So there are a lot of different ways that you can restate that thesis. There are probably an endless, almost endless number of ways that you can restate that thesis. You only have to do it once. Get rid of this one. Then the next thing is to tell its importance. Until society realizes that children are born innocent and must be taught the values we want them to have, we will continue in this cycle of bad parents raising bad children and of a society more intent on punishing them than helping them. If the cycle doesn't stop, soon our society will be the one that loses its innocence. Okay, so there's the importance. The importance is that each child losing innocence makes our society as a whole suffer. Keep the key words because you want to remind your reader of a sense of going back to the main idea of the essay. Keep the key words and you just put them in a different phrase. And then you hit your reader with the takeaway. So you restate and then you hit your reader with the takeaway. This is the final punch of the essay. This is the thing that you want your reader to remember. This is the lesson or the moral of the story. This is why you're writing the essay, to drive home this final point.